All right, welcome to the Athens Film Festival 2025 Creator Interviews. Today I'm here with Conor Callahan, director of the music video Old Violence, which is showing at the festival this August. Conor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm happy to talk to you about a music video. You're my second music video interview that I've had out of all of them.
Wow.
So,
How, the first one went well?
yeah, it went well, but it wasn't, anything with claymation in it. So this one's unique.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I guess segueing into that, what was the first idea or image that came into your head when you were thinking about what this music video should look like? Or was it more of a collaboration with the artist Uncle Skunk?
Gosh, I don't know. So, like, the group Uncle Skunk, like, I've known them for a while, and they've kind of always wanted me to do a music video for them. But stop motion takes, like, a really long time. And
Yeah.
so I was trying to come up with a concept that could be, like, a 50-50.
Mhm.
Because they were like, you got to do a stop motion video. And I'm like, okay, like, I'll do that. But, like, how much time do I have? And, how much money is it? So it was kind of like a little compromise. But then what ended up happening was the live action stuff looked so good that I almost kind of wish there was more live action stuff. But the video concept was already so baked in that it needed to be 50-50 still.
Mhm. Was it always going to be a claymation like idea, or is that just something that evolved over time?
Yeah, it was always going to be something of that respect. I mean, I do a lot of stop motion animation. Claymation in particular is like not my strong suit, but I kind of feel like people like the human figure just works best with clay when you're dealing with something stop motion animated. Like I do a lot of felting work too, and like a felted human being kind of just felt weird to me. So it just made more sense to do this one in clay. And I hadn't really worked with clay in such an intense way in a while, so it was kind of fun to like explore that again.
Yeah, it's definitely a labor of love. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, how did you decide then, I guess, if you're used to, different mediums of stop motion, how did you decide that clay was the right one in that case?
Again, I guess it was just like in my weird, like twisted logic, I was like, people shouldn't be felted. Like people should be made out of clay, And like the hair is kind of felted. Like I felted some like sheets to like form their hair, and then I like attached that to their head. But like and same thing like with facial hair and stuff like that's all like wool felt. But like people's like skin and we're like not really furry. I mean, like some people are furry, but like not that furry. Like we don't have like strands of hair like sticking out of like our forehead and stuff. So it
Yeah.
felt weird to like felt the characters, even though I'm more comfortable in that medium.
Mm, completely fair. Hey, I'll respect that logic. Absolutely. Well, then in that case, what was your process like also for designing how the clay world would look like? I especially liked when it had like the clay planet and the real world planet. That was such
Yeah,
a detail.
yeah. So it all this like video is like really high concept in the fact that like um the clay world and the real world were like battling each other in a way,
Yeah.
but there's really only so many ways you can show that in like a 2.5 minute video
Mm.
without like getting like really intense on like the epilogue. Is that the thing that opens a film? Epilogue or prologue? Epilogue.
Prologue.
Prologue. Okay, prologue. So the prologue, like I wanted to originally have like a spinning world at the beginning and like a narrator that
Mm.
kind of like explained everything, but like we ran out of time and money, and it was like a super like ambitious idea where it was going to look like the beginning of like Casablanca, like or like an Indiana Jones film, like when they like go over the
Yeah.
globe and there's like all these X's and dots.
Oh
But
my
we
God.
didn't end up doing that. So like the clay world, real world thing was kind of like a thing to help explain, that these are two separate worlds, but like what's happening in the real world is affecting the clay world, and the clay world ends up affecting the real world. I don't know if that is like obvious to everyone, but I don't know if it needs to be. Um, but yeah, and I guess that's just another thing where we were so into clay at that point, where I'm like, I might as well just go full clay, and like a lot of the trees are made out of clay, and
Yeah. The flowers, even, I
the
noticed.
flowers, yeah.
There's a lot of attention to detail, absolutely. I mean, just inherent in the medium of stop motion and claymation, but
Mhm.
you especially were devoted in this, absolutely. You've also mentioned, like wanting to have more band time and like balancing out like the real world and the clay kind of content out. Yeah, how did you handle that challenge of kind of syncing those two together also?
Well, I usually do like storyboards or animatics for my videos to make sure I'm like getting enough footage animation wise.
Hmm.
Um, I did not do that this time, which was unfortunate because I ended up having a lot of extra live action footage, and the live action shoot like pretty much exceeded all expectations that I had. We had a bunch of people helping out for free, like in like a steady cam op that did all the like live stuff, and so I think I was just like, damn, this looks so good. Like I wish I could just include more of it, because we just had so much footage from it.
Yeah.
But the story was already so like decided. I think what I probably did was like a timed breakdown, though I didn't have a an animatic or a storyboard. What I'll usually do is I'll like listen to the song like a million times and then go through and be like, at 5 seconds we cut to this, at 10 seconds we cut to this, and like
Yeah.
it might change a little bit in the edit here and there, but because this video was so heavy on the story and it was so high concept, there wasn't like much room to change without it becoming completely like confusing and unintelligible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You mentioned that I guess you had some anxieties that people wouldn't maybe grasp certain things with it being more high concept,
Yeah,
and more metaphoric in a lot of senses too.
yeah.
Did you add any particular details to kind of help with that understanding?
The clay world and the real world, that was kind of the fact. I think that was always going to be a shot, but the actual label
Mm,
that I animated over those. That I think that was like a thing that came out in the editing process when I shared it to a couple of friends, and I was like, "Hey, does this make sense? Like, would it be better if I added like a label here?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." Like, again, I feel like with the music video, it's like it doesn't really have to make sense, but I wanted to at least try to make it make a little bit of sense, just because that was the initial intention. Um, but I'm pretty sure
yeah.
that was it. And then there was probably like I definitely had some like help on the backhand of it. Like a buddy of mine, Aiden Stadler's like really good with the effects, and he's like more of like a 2D animator, so he helped come in and like clean up some of the animation and some of the movement of certain shots to make sure it like cut better and felt more fluid. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, a lot of creative decisions involved in something so like fun and fantastic creatively.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely, definitely. It had to fit into its own logic.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have like a lot of conversations with the band themselves and the group about this? Were they involved a lot in the concept, or did you have more creative freedom?
They kind of let me do whatever I wanted to, but that being said, I did like create like a pitch deck, and I tried to explain it to them like what was happening beforehand, just so they knew where their money was going. And like I always try to do that, like create like a pitch deck and like a budget, even if it's like a low budget, just to show like, hey, like this is what's happening. This is like my idea. This is what it should look like. And they were down for all of it. I don't think they had any notes that I could think of. I mean, they were kind of just happy to be involved in the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the product is amazing either way here. It's very, very much, like you could tell like a lot of creative attention went into, I mean, stop motion in the first place, but even down to like the font choices, I was like very impressed watching.
Yeah, and that's like my friend Tyler did the font, and he's like just picked up calligraphy in the past couple of years, and I was like,
Wow.
oh, like there's this technique called boiling, that like you draw a oh actually here he did this for a different video
Whoa.
that just came out, but so you draw it 3 times, and that makes it wiggle.
Wow. Oh my
It's like a
gosh.
3 frame boil of it, and so that's where those titles came. And yeah, it made sense because it was called like Old Violence. That would have like some weird like gothic font.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, that's so like it feels like the anti-AI art in that
Yeah,
sense. Like
definitely.
like how they did all those AI title cards in Late Night with the Devil. This felt like a very much needed like reversal of that.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't really know how to do any of that AI stuff, so this is kind of just the only way I know how to do it.
Yeah, well, it's refreshing. I
Yeah,
mean, I feel like a lot of online content, some music videos, even. I think there was a recent one by the group Blackpink. It's a K-pop girl group, and it's under a lot of like critique right now because they used AI, or
yeah.
speculatively, it's speculated that they used AI in their last music video. And it's like there's something that really rubs people the wrong way about that, validly so.
Oh, definitely. And like I know, iDress, that group did AI, and people were pissed off. And the Lumineers did like an AI music video too that a friend of mine worked on, and he was like the production designer, so he was like really annoyed because like it's like you could have been putting that money into, you know, people's pockets instead of AI. And the
Yeah.
Lumineers is a group that has the money to give people money to make something cool. But I mean, I guess it is good to hear that people are annoyed. That makes that makes me happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just like, I will always, I think, have to defend real artistry at the end of the day.
Mm.
Totally, totally. Speaking of your artistry, how did you handle, the creation of the caricatures of the band itself? Um,
Um, I
like
have
their look.
I have some of them.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so they're kind of decaying because this was like a year ago. But here's like Teddy the drummer,
Whoa. Oh my
uh,
gosh.
and so like his hand is like his arms are plasticine. His hand is like made out of this like sugru material that you can kind of see a little bit peeking through underneath the plasticine.
Whoa.
Um, the heads weren't originally as pink. I think like the paint just like did something weird. But that's made out of baked clay, so that won't get all squished. And then the hair's felted. I had someone make the hands because I'm not like the best hand person. I made the puppets. Costume designer Liza Engman, who I've worked with on a couple of videos, made the clothes, like the miniature clothes, and they kind of just like
Wow.
go on in the back. That's why you never like really see the backs of them. Um, and here's another one. Here's Robert, and I gave him like a little Uncle Skunk shirt too,
Oh wow.
like shirts that they sell at their shows, and so I kind of just like recreated that.
That's so cool. Oh my god.
And they have these tie downs in their feet. Oh, I guess this one ripped out, but it's just like a screw that you put into it, so I can like put it into a piece of wood, so they can like walk smoothly.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. That is so neat. Thank you for showing me that, like,
yeah.
behind the scenes a little bit here.
Well, I'm happy it's just sitting around here. I haven't totally rotted away yet. When you're dealing with clay, it tends to have a shelf life for sure.
Really? I guess I wouldn't have thought of that. I don't have that experience. That's something new I've learned. Oh my gosh. Yeah, also just, speaking of these clay figures, How did you go about making the balance? Because they're getting kind of beat up. They're going through it.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
they're they're getting like voodoo doll trampled on a little bit the
Yeah.
entire music video. How did you go about, making that design first off, I guess, and making it also, very intentional and not like overly grotesque, I guess, too.
Well, I think part of it has to do with um, just like the obstacles and the I don't know the time and I don't know just what I had available to me. Like, and also I don't really think I don't know. I've never really made any videos that are super grotesque in general. I kind of like stay away from
Well,
that.
maybe I think, sorry, not to say like grotesque, just
Yeah.
like
Well, no, I'm seeing like blood.
inherently
You know.
violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess I never really thought about that. Like, how there's like no blood in any of it or anything. Like,
Yeah, it feels more vulnerable in a sense. It's like
yeah,
they're just kind of going through it, and it
yeah,
doesn't feel like you're just trying to shock and horrify, which is what
yeah.
I find a lot of films with a violent element kind of lean into.
Well, I think that's just not very natural for me. So I tend to do things that come a little bit more natural, and so the violence thing, like obviously they needed to get beat up, but I didn't want to go too crazy, and I wanted to be more funny with it than like actually like violent and gross.
Yeah.
Um, like they're getting like crushed by an apple, or like
Yeah.
the head being chopped off by the drumstick or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clay. I don't know. Like there's only, like it's when you're doing a stop motion animation, especially like claymation. Like it's a very funny medium. Like I don't want it to be
Mhm.
that like gross or bloody or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I definitely was like, this isn't, full Scooby Doo scary. That one that one Scooby Doo episode where it's like they're all voodoo dolls, and it's like, oh my god, this is actually disturbing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was absolutely a comedic kind of element, just with like, yeah, the apple and the drumstick and like shaving his face, and then
Oh
the mom
yeah, yeah.
like this guy. I was like, oh my gosh. Did you have any hopes for also just like with what people take away from this video, especially when it comes to the metaphor of old violence and that title?
Um, no, not really. I kind of just want people to enjoy it and
Oh,
maybe uh, grasp a little bit of the concept, but I also have like let go of that hope. It might be a little confusing for some people. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like music videos are just there to be like entertaining. Like they don't really need to be followed super closely or anything. So if they are like entertaining and they feel like cohesive.
hey, I mean, I kind of agree. I feel like a music video is just a beautiful like visual companion to the music. So
Yeah,
that was achieved, absolutely.
yeah, and if it
Um,
accomplishes anything
did
else,
you
it
have
could
any, I guess, references? Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
for the um, for the live action stuff, I wanted to do like like Weezer's Sweater Song, which is why we had like the Steadicam
Mm,
operator, and it was just like all on like a cyc instead of a blue cyc, it's a red cyc. Um,
mm.
we shot that in a studio because I used to work at this studio in Brooklyn, and so they let us shoot there for free, which is awesome. And so that was the reference for that, and then the animation portion. There's this like video. It's in French, so I don't really know what it's called, but it's like this like early Michel Gondry video that he did whenever he
Mm.
was directing music videos for his French band that he played drums in back in the day. And there's like the character design is like somewhat similar. I think his characters are a little less gross. I think these characters ended up being a little like rough and
Mm.
tumble and dirty, and his are a little bit cleaner. But just the fact of like a four-person group being recreated in clay and in like a sort of like minimalist way, I referenced that and showed stills from that in like the pitch and everything to the band. Yeah,
But Oh gosh. Well, I guess as we're kind of wrapping up a little bit here, I'll kind of ask you also like um what do you think you'll take from this for future projects in particular? Like, I mean, obviously you have a bit of seasoned experience in this field, but is there anything creatively you want to do more of? Like you mentioned, like more live action in certain cases, or different styles, mediums, anything there?
Um, yeah, I think that the big learning thing from this is that the for it to all feel like cohesive, I feel like the stop motion stuff should have probably also been done in the studio. Like there wasn't time or money to do that, but like in going forward, like I would like to do that again. And we just shot a stop motion video in studio too, which is really fun. So I feel like I've already learned a little bit since it's been a year, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, just I also learned as well. You know, this video could have benefited from like an animatic, so I wouldn't have shot all that extra footage. And since then, I have done more animatics and storyboards for videos that have come since then. So that was a big learning experience specifically for that video because I made like so much extra work for myself not having that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like the product is still so amazing with all of the work, dedication, detail, innovation, making an animation dolly
Yeah,
involved. Absolutely. But thank you so much for that wide spanning conversation. I know we went from AI, claymation, live action, Casablanca esque prologues.
yeah, yeah.
Where can the people find more about you and your projects in the future, though?
I guess you can follow me on Instagram. Unfortunately, that's kind of like the place that everything ends up nowadays. But yeah, it's just like Conor M Callahan. Connor spelled with one N, no E. So you can find me there, and just directed a music video for the White Stripes that came out like a couple weeks ago, so you can check that out. And there's
Awesome.
another music video coming out for like an electronic artist that should be out later in the month. That's all Yetis, and so it's a bunch of it's like a Yeti party, and so you can
Whoa.
take a take a look at that whenever that comes out.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. And we're just so psyched to have this in the festival and see also all that you continue to do. I mean, clearly you've got some amazing stuff on the horizon.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm glad we could do this interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And for everyone watching at home, come see Old Violence in our music video block at the Athens Film Festival, which is taking place August 14th through 17th. Tickets are on sale now at athensfilm.com. Connor, thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see. Will we see you at the festival?
I don't know. I don't think so. We'll have to see.
Okay.
I my schedule is kind of weird right now. Um, but
Well, we can't
I'd
wait to
like.
see your film and the
Yeah.
music video block and show it again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for sitting down with me and talking about old violence.
Of course. Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.